Greetings, diners, and welcome to another edition of the Collapse Morning Wake Up Call and the Snack Card Gourmet and all the other names that I have for these shows. Okay, I can't remember them all right now. Okay. It's another bloody Sunday, and bloodier than most have been. So we needed to go with an extra large size Bloody Mary here today in a skull glass. And on our skewers today, we have our usual orange-topped egg. Guess who that is? Okay, with steak and a Brussels sprout. I had a leftover Brussels sprout from one of my meals, so I added that to the skewer. And then on the other skewer is more normal stuff. I've got my olives. They're pimento stuffed, I think, today, and calamatas, and a couple of cocktail shrimp. And cocktail shrimp dipped in Bloody Mary is ideal. It is the ultimate taste sensation, okay? Well, maybe not the ultimate. And then, for more healthy stuff, this is all healthy, okay? Okay? Maybe the Bloody Mary isn't that healthy. You know, it's got a lot of alcohol in it. But a lot of tomato juice, too. All right, this is actually V8 today. So, it's pretty healthy. And then my meal, my brunch meal, to go with today's brunch discussion is a little Caesar salad. Okay, that's Caesar dressing on top of greens, and then some tomatoes, and a couple of oranges, vitamin C, okay, and then those are sardines, okay, canned sardines out of my preps. All right, and this whole meal, very cheap, really. It fits in the Snack Card Gourmet budget, if you don't count the alcohol, which I don't when I calculate up my expenditures on food. All right, alcohol and cigarettes, they're separate, okay? That is a habit that I have that you don't have to have, and it can add up, okay? But I'm not too worried about it these days. All right, so that's it for this portion of the video. Now I'm going to move over to the computer to eat and drink and discuss Collapse. Okay? See you later. Well, in about 2 seconds for you. Greetings, diners, and welcome back. I finished doing my meal prep, and it's all set up now for me to eat. And I am currently, as you can see, rebooting my fucking computer, which this one is giving me endless trouble these days. So let's go over the meal before we get to the topics of the day. We've got the Bloody Mary over here with the olives and shrimp. And we've got the Donald Dietrich Trumpovetsky egg and orange air, and plus a Brussels sprout and some steak. Okay? And then I've got more protein. This is sardines. And then my veggies of, what do you call it? Tomatoes and lettuce with Caesar dressing. Has plenty of fat in it, and then if you saw the picture, I also had a whole bunch of vitamins that I try to take every day. Okay, except that sometimes I don't. That's the way it goes, right? So I will get into devouring this meal, which, by the way, is a Snap Card budget meal. Okay, and So don't look at this as something you can't afford if you are living in your car or your van and you don't have too much, you know. With the current SNAP card allotment, you can afford this meal. All right? You might not be able to afford the booze, but the rest of the meal you can afford. All right? And I will be going into detail on how to do this in my forthcoming blogs and videos. Now, let me have a little of this, what do you call it? Sardines. I really wanted anchovies, but I ran out of anchovies. You gotta buy some. Sardines are good though. Okay, so what's going on? This has been an extremely bad week, a bad couple of weeks since I last got on. There have been a lot of other diners who have produced some very important material that I've been publishing. Surly, my partner in crime, produced a 10,000 word article recapping last year, 2019, which was superb. Okay? You can't say anything else, but it was superb. And so that went up, and then another diner, a bit newer diner, from Oz, Australia, who lived through the 2009 Black Saturday, wrote an article about that, about his experiences with that, and now he's going through it again, and we're all praying for him. Okay, John Aquilon. Remember that name. Anyhow, besides the fucking fires that are consuming Oz and killing hundreds of millions of animals and wiping out entire species, possibly, we also have the other critical mass problem of the POTUS here in the FS of A, Donald E. Treat, Trumpetetsky, the orange head, okay? That's this guy, who I'm going to eat in a little bit. He took it upon himself to, without anybody else's say-so, as Commander-in-Chief, or in reality, Clown-in-Chief, send a drone and kill the premier commander of the Iranian armed forces, apparently. So their intelligence was actually good enough to find where this guy was and nail him with the drone, okay? Which, kind of impresses me, as far as the military is concerned. They usually haven't been that good lately. But they did nail him, okay? And now the Iranians, of course, want to retaliate, and we don't know exactly how this is going to escalate, but it is going to escalate in some fashion. And we don't know when the Iranians will come back with something. The likelihood of this whole thing is for some type of asymmetric warfare, okay? On a level playing field with all the military bases and all the hardware and all the death from above that the U.S. military can rain down, the Iranians can't compete with that. But they can compete on other levels. Okay, there's terrorist actions that can be taken. They can use Chinese and Russian cruise missiles to destroy Saudi oil fields and oil production facilities and pipelines. They can use same cruise missiles to sink battleships and entire carrier groups. In fact, nobody's done that yet, but it's coming. Okay, those kind of weapons are not the weapons that have been used in previous wars. Okay, what's going on with my fucking computer? Better shut the fuck up. One's my password. I'm not going to type that in because I don't want you guys to see it. In terms of warfare, militaries are always, in general, fighting the last war. And that's what they're doing here. I mean, we've got these big carrier groups and so forth, but, you know, they're mostly destined for the bottom of Davy Jones' locker. Because much cheaper cruise missiles can sink those things. And, you know, they're almost unstoppable. You know, there are defensive... Gotta eat. There are defensive missile systems that can stop some. But, you know, if they fire off enough of them, and we don't know how many they have, some ships are going to sink. And lots of grunts, sailors, are going to die at some point here. And I don't see any way this is going to de-escalate at this point. You know, Trumpavetsky has pushed it too far. And just for their own political survival, the government that controls Iran they have to strike back. They have to take revenge. And they will, in one form or another. But it hasn't happened yet, and we don't know when it will. But it's going to happen. The escalation is unstoppable at this point. So, anyhow, we have lots of good articles coming and much more collapse to discuss here on the diner before it all goes to shit or the bombs start dropping on us or my internet goes dark. Which, you know, that's the biggest disaster, right? All right. In the meantime, eat well. I'm going to be producing a lot more food videos on how to eat cheap and eat well and nutritiously, as long as our current paradigm of just-in-time delivery keeps working. Once that stops, and once the food stamps stop, and all the rest of that, it's a whole nother fucking story. But for right now, for those of you who have lost a job, or are on the verge of losing a job, or on the verge of losing your place to live and become homeless, I urge you to watch these videos because you shouldn't eat garbage because you don't have to yet, okay? I will produce videos eventually of how to make roadkill tasty. But I'm not there yet. Alright, that's all to do. This time until next time, here on the Collapse Morning Wake Up Call and the Cooking Zone and the Snap Card Gourmet of the Doomstead Diner. Hasta la super duper Bloody Mary. Goodbye.